Wisdom. Empowerment. Urban Family Talk.
But I used to get up in the morning because this was my practice. I got married, I was 25. Right? Mm-hmm. So I'm used to living and just kind of doing, I get up, I read, I pray whenever I want. You know what I'm saying? And so you would get up at the same time that I would get up in the morning. Mm-hmm. And I kept trying to push it up earlier, but you're an early person. So you're like, oh, if you're up, we're up.
Right.
So I would get drove. Rather than communicating, I would get drove and I'd be like, ah, I just want me and Jesus. I just want to sit here with Jesus. And he would come in and be like, what you reading? I'm just trying to read and hear the Lord. But I keep hearing your voice. And I'll say this, and I thank God for my mom. She taught me a lot, even in that situation. And I remember in that first year marriage, I remember calling her and being like, Mama, Will wakes up when I wake up. I want to sit and read my Bible. And my mom would say, Meeke, your obligation is to your husband. You're married. The Lord knows that. That's what the Lord wants. He wants your so if your husband wakes up and he wants to talk with you in the morning, you talk with him. And then when you have time later in the day, when you get that time, you read, you pray, you do those things. But at the same time, I didn't communicate that to you because it's not like you were just trying to get in my face like, oh, you're trying to read, huh? You're trying to read? But I was just like, God, But here's the point that I'm making. Your obligation is to your husband. If you are married, it is biblical that your obligation is to your husband. Your commitment is to your husband. Someone asks you to do something at church. It is biblical that you say, let me check with my husband and make sure that we can do that before you commit to doing it.
Yeah.
You got to keep this in balance. You got to keep it in perspective. A lot of people don't want to draw your attention to 1 Corinthians chapter 7. You know why? Because they're going to lose a lot of their workers. A lot of people won't draw your attention to that and say, man, yeah, your commitment is to serving your husband because they want you to serve on this committee. They want you to be at all of these meetings. But you've got to say with authority and you've got to say it joyfully. Let me check with my husband and see if we've got anything going on. If we don't have anything going on, if he doesn't need me to do anything at home, then I'm happy to help. And listen, if your husband says, I would prefer that you not do that. I want you, your obligation is to say, okay, and go back. I can't do it this time.
Yeah.
That pleases God.
Setting a standard in Christ. Urban Family Talk.